What was life again? Beautiful mornings, annoying friends, and obsession over food? Wine didn't remember them anymore. Academic pressure, abusive parents, or that one annoying girl from the school? Wine didn't have those kind of problems anymore. She was not treated like a human anymore. Getting forced out of her bed, once again she was forced to get ready like an angel. They sat her down in front of the mirror like a rag doll, she just let them be. Accident, her makeup. She agreed every time. They are done, she will look truly majestic. She was 19 when one day, on her way to university, she was forced in a van and all the way to this prison. A home where there were more girls like her, some bold, some fragile and scared, but all of them were truly obedient. Ryan then found out first she was kidnapped and now she was getting prepared to be sold off as a sex worker. It's been a month since then. They forced her to fix her diet. She was bold and put on a fight, and at the end of the day, they beat that out of her as well. Now she just sat there as a rag doll. As they got done with her makeup, she was then pulled out of the chair and into another room. Brenda, I am going to miss you, said one of the other girls who were forced there. Vine smiled slyly. She was a good company until now. Today was the last day of Vine here. She watched a lot of more girls leaving before, and today was her turn. They both hugged. Neither Brenda, who was left here, was in good hands, nor Vine, who was leaving. Her 1 month of practice was over. It was now the day she was getting sold off. Every kind of wicked thought ran her mind. Maybe she would just run away as soon as the man takes her away. Maybe she'll murder him, or if nothing works, maybe she'll just act nice, win his trust, and escape when his guard is low. She refused to stay. That's when her act started as soon as she was taken towards the nearest room. Vima, act right. You don't want to mess it up and create trouble for yourself. Why would I? I'm actually glad I'm getting out of here. Vima raised her brow, suspicious, but as long as she was acting right, it didn't matter. Vine was forced in a red silk gown, the heart-shaped neckline, and a thigh split. She didn't know who the man was, but usually they stink of money until they can't control it anymore. The door opened. She found their owner, or a woman who forced them to call her madam, Lila, and a man sat opposite on couch as her. There was liquor served at the table. The room itself spoke of luxury. This is where they served all those VIP guests. Wine saw three men positioned at several points holding guns for the men's security. That's when she knew earning his trust was wrong. She simply needed to escape by all means. Lila, here you are. the gem of our beautiful place. You know, John, you're lucky. I'll let you get her. Usually I would reject any amount of money for my precious diamond. She laughed, which was disgusting. She held Wine, pulling her in and presenting her to the man who sat there like a boss. Wicked eyes, dominating aura, and a charming face, like a devil wrapped up in a silk. Lila. That's why I love men with balls. John, as Lila called him, stood up. He didn't even touch the liquor at all. One of his guards moved forward, bringing in two huge briefcases, probably filled with money. Lila got them happily, sniffing the money as if it was drugs. Disgusted. Wine was disgusted. But when she looked back at the man, he didn't pull her or shamed her for owning her. Instead, he extended his hand out for her. When she held it, it was warm, almost, almost protective. If Wine didn't have plans of escaping, she might have fallen for that warmth. He pulled her beside him and walked out of her, matching her slow pace, due to her heels. He didn't speak a word. Was he mute? Wine, where did you see me? A stupid question, but she wanted to hear his voice. He simply opened the car door for her, got inside, and the driver went off. That was a crazy level of luxury when he came to buy a girl in a Rolls Royce, with a tons of Mercedes following him as his security. Just who in the world was he? Wine. And why would you even pay all that money? She just dished you. That might backfire, but she just couldn't understand. Why would someone pay millions for her? Still no answer. Just a look, and it made her cower in fear. She looked out, trying to remember the route and details for her escape plan. Fast skipped to his mansion, which was something she needed to look at least 1,000 times to believe it was real and not a movie. He took her straight to the room, stopping in front of a bed. His back faced her as he removed his coat. I am John Jungkook, and you can remove the gun you sneaked in here. Before he even finished that sentence, he heard the sound of gun clicking. As he turned, undoing his cuffs, all casually, there stood Wine, holding a gun pointing at him with boldness. She was not scared of this. If this was going to save her from hell, she would do it. Fine, I never planned on staying. Jungkook, to answer your earlier question, I saw you at the park once. He continued his talk, all casually, as if one pull of the trigger was not going to take his life away. It piqued Wine's curiosity. Did he mean he saw her before she was kidnapped? Jungkook continued undoing the buttons of his shirt, walking to his closet, took out another shirt, and wore it. Jungkook, if you're going to pull the trigger, I suggest you to do it now. He knew she was not kidding. He knew by those expressions she would actually kill him. But a man like him, who faced guns daily, would not be scared of death so easily. He crossed his arms over his chest. There was so much confidence coming from his side that suddenly Wine was losing hers. Who was this man? And how could he be so calm? Wine, tell me the escape route. Jungkook, if you step out of this room, after two lefts, you'll find a black door, which will take you to another space. Follow the way, and you'll be out. Wine, why? He's not even scared. Then why are you telling me this? Jungkook stepped near her, one by one. Every step increased her heartbeat. She was losing her control. If he turned out to be a monster, her life was over. This was her only chance. No, he was a monster for not fearing death. Wine, stop there. I'll shoot. I mean it. She panicked, her eyes suddenly tearing up when trauma hit her. This whole month had been nothing but trauma. But then, as he reached her, her hand shaking, which held the gun, he placed his hand on her cheek. Warmth spread her body. The gun pressed against his chest in that position, but that seemed to be the least of his worries. Jungkook, it's okay. I'm not going to hurt you, and the moment I do, I'm giving you full access to finishing me just then and there. Why? Why? She whispered and broke down. After such a long battle, she felt warmth and protection. She fell on her knees and Jungkook knelt down beside her. Jungkook, I saw you once in a park. You helped a lady. She was my sister. You may not remember, but she was on a wheelchair, dropped her keychain, which you gave her, and talked to her nicely. Jungkook started, and Wine couldn't believe how that tone of his was calming her down. Wine, she was sweet. She had a bag full of chocolates, and she gave almost half of it to me. Jungkook, she told me how it made her day. I saw her pure smile. She was a patient of cancer, a hopeful and a kind child, complete opposite of me, cause of sunshine in my stormy nights. But I lost her. Despite Mine's own pain, her eyes reflected sympathy for him. Jungkook, you're safe here. Eva would not want anything more than that. Wine dropped the gun. It was like all that fear and burden was suddenly off her shoulders. She was safe. She was safe with the man who bought her. Jungkook, that day I fell for you. I wished Eva was still here to see it. But I promised her I was going to win you over. When I told her that, I saw the light shining in her eyes. Vine, you sound like the best brother I would ever have. Jungkook, I will try to be the best man for you. One looked down at Dad. She didn't know about that. But that warmth of his hand gave her so much relief. Jungkook, I want to clear one thing out. I didn't buy you. I would try to name that money as a charity done under your name. Now, come on. Change up. You look uncomfortable in that. He pulled her up, getting her to her feet, and that's when she saw through the glass door. The closet had a whole section of ladies' clothing, and every time a lady might need, all in her size. Fine, if you didn't buy me, then I can go back to my home. Jungkook, if you want to, then I'll have to put a lots of security for you. You can go wherever you want, but the security stays. Not safe from their eyes, they'll get you again. Fine, and you? What about your promise with Abba? Fine, that stays. I'll win you over. He said with determination, yet those eyes said no matter what kind of man he was going to use gentle ways for a lady. Ryan, why were you not scared of a gun? And who are you? Why do you have so much security? She asked once he placed her over the bed. Jungkook, do you know the initials JK? Why no didn't it took her a whole minute to realize what he was talking about. The name of terror and danger. JK, the Mafia Lord. Did she just held a gun to his head? She gasped, covering her mouth, and he ruffled her hair. He seemed dominant, rough, evil, but he was extremely gentle with his moves. Just who raised him into such a fine man? Jungkook, change up, and I want you to order your favorite food. Time to gain that weight back. Did he notice that much? Just one meeting all that month ago, and he could tell how much he changed? When she stared up at him with uncertain eyes, she didn't know if she could believe him this easily or not. She didn't want to, so quickly, but those eyes told her she was in safe hands, out of that hell and finally into the hands of the devil. A devil who didn't promise her anything with words alone. First, he proved himself with actions, getting her out of here, standing on a gunpoint for her. He gave her the protection which she thought was impossible. As much as she tried to refrain, her heart fluttered. She was going to take her time on him and let the future lead her to her best.